Hey Closetistas, this is Carolina Ramirez. Today we're going to be talking with Lisa Salzer from Lulu Frost. She's going to be sharing with us some one-of-a-kind vintage pieces that are only available to you guys, as well as talking about her 100-year-old necklace and the code collection too. How did you come up with the idea of using the Plaza Hotel numbers?
Oh, that was a very lucky find. I think, I had been buying a lot of strange old hardware pieces for a long time for my jewelry, old hinges and locks and keys. And as I was purchasing those kind of things, I would see those huge house numbers from old homes, and I thought they were really cool, just the shapes of them, and obviously the numbers were so personal, but they were huge. They were way too big. So one day after the plaza closed for renovation, I was shopping at this old salvage place where I always got, locks and hinges and stuff. And I just saw buckets and buckets of these perfectly sized numerals. And I asked the salespeople where are they from, and they said the plaza. And something clicked in my mind at that very minute. I said, this is so personal. It's such a New York institution, and they're just beautiful in and of themselves. So I bought them all and made them into pendants and bracelets and pins, and I was just very lucky to find them that day.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's really cool that you just randomly clicked in your head when you saw them, like, I'm going to do something with this. I'm going to create something really amazing, and obviously it's kind of stuck with you for a while.
Numbers have become really meaningful to me. It's been interesting to hear people's stories all over the world, why certain numbers are appealing to them, and it's really personal. It's something actually that you normally don't get insight into about a person's life, what their lucky number is, or how many kids they might have, or when they were married. It's a really special, meaningful thing, so it's become very meaningful to me, of course.
Alright, so can you show us these pieces that you have displayed for us here and tell us a little bit about them?
Absolutely. These are some of my favorite elements of what we do at Lulu Frost. It's from our classic group, which we bring back every season because it does really well, and it's my favorite personally. It's what I wear every day. It's kind of a mix of deco and then gold tones, and I love silver and gold together, so that whole group is represented here. So I'll start with this amazing snake necklace. It's this really cool kind of snake chain, we call it, and then it has a central deco pendant, and this in particular was a brooch. This is from about 1920, 1930, and it's a classic glass kind of handmade costume jewelry brooch, probably from France. So this is a really amazing kind of necklace that could go with anything. T-shirt and jeans, thanks, or you can wear it with a dress, or exactly what you have on right now. Actually,
maybe I will put it.
You should. Yeah, I love it with your outfit. I do.
That's cool.
Thanks.
I love it. So the Plaza Hotel numbers, are they reproduced now, or are they original?
Now they're replicated. I do have a few originals left. I have maybe 30 that I've kept for myself. Originally we bought 2,500 of them, but they sold out within a few months at Barney's. It was kind of insane. It was a crazy experience to see them, just be sold and see women walking down the street wearing them. It was amazing. So as we were, reaching the end of the numbers and they were dwindling, we decided to cast them and mold them, and we were creating them in bronze, which is the original material. So now we've been selling replicas for a couple of years. It's been great. This is a 1950s costume jewelry classic, crystal necklace that we've wrapped in silver and gold chain. It's kind of has an ombre effect. So I like people to be able to wear our jewelry with whatever they already have. So I always do silver and gold because you never know, someone's gonna have a wedding band that's in platinum, or always wear gold watches. So that's why we did the kind of mix of the tones in this necklace.
So you have a collection of, it's the 100-year-old necklace, and it looks like it spans from different pieces from 1860s to 1960s.
Exactly.
So could you explain that to us and how you put those together and what really brings the inspiration for that?
The 100-year collection is something I'm so excited about. It's kind of a labor of love for me. We just have so many cool vintage pieces here at the Lulu Frost studio. Tens of thousands, literally, and they're always kind of jumbled together on a tray or in a drawer. And I tend to, if I'm on the phone and working, instead of doodling, I tend to fit the jewelry together, almost like a collage. And it just struck me one day, wow, I have 100 years of history right here, on this tray from 1860 through the 1960s, as you said. So I kind of got the idea to just put them together on a necklace in a harmonious way. And each and every one is totally different, but they all have that common thread of 100 years of history. And it's been amazing.
So what is your interest in past history, and how does your mother influence you?
Oh, very, very much so. My mom and my grandmother, so the maternal side, that's the Frost side of my family, are just an amazing influence on me. My grandmother, Elizabeth Frost, who I have a great wedding picture of here, was a huge influence on me. She worked in the state jewelry business, rather, for a long time. So I grew up around Edwardian and Victorian and Nouveau, like really amazing pieces that I would want to have and hope to have one day. And every birthday and Christmas we would get a piece, all the ladies in my family. So we have kind of a cool collection of Nouveau stuff mostly. So my mom obviously was influenced by her mother and now is our buyer. And just the aesthetic sense that I've gotten from my family is something I'm really grateful for and happy about.
That's my favorite.
I love it. Awesome. It's a great example. It's Aurora Borealis stone, which has that kind of iridescent quality to it. And again, we hand wrap it up with the silver chain kind of meshing into the gold chain. It's just an easy bracelet that looks cool with any silver.
So what was it like going to an Ivy League school at the age of 21, starting a jewelry line from Dartmouth?
I think I had no idea what I was getting into. It was purely just for fun. I finished my classes early senior year. Senior spring, I was just hanging out, having fun, living with 4 of my girlfriends in a big old house in the middle of campus. And I certainly didn't start out making jewelry. I was making very preppy ribbon belts and sitting at my living room table sewing grosgrain belts together for my guy friends and girlfriends. And my friends started buying things from me, and it was kind of shocking that someone would give me $40 for something I made, And I think that's when the entrepreneurial bug got sparked in me. I was having a great time being creative, and then also realizing I could make a living out of it. So, it just kind of sparked the idea in me my senior spring I could do it. And even though it was different than what a lot of my friends were doing, going off into finance or I was considering working in a gallery. I was an art history major. I just got excited about the idea of being able to do my own thing and make it happen.
Awesome. Yeah, it must help you a lot, like in what you do, having that art history background.
Absolutely, yeah. I always draw from obviously different historical periods in my influences, or even if we're actually using a vintage piece from the past. So it's totally connected to my art history background. I love this collection. This is called our corkboard collection because all of these sort of deco elements are actually brooches. So this is a pin that you can take off the little mesh, and you could trade it out for something else.
Oh, wow.
So you can kind of make this bracelet morph to your mood that day. Just you can wear it alone. This is a gold-plated brass mesh that we had custom made for us. And I just love it when you pin the brooch onto it. It's become something totally new. So if you had a brooch from your grandmother or found something at a flea market you love, you just swap it out.
Awesome. So do you have any tips for any vintage flea market or vintage consumers to help them shop?
Oh, absolutely. I have a lot of experience with that. I think the best piece of advice is to talk to the dealers. They're wealths of knowledge, and they're really cool people too. I always end up becoming friends with them, and they just really understand their craft. So whether you're looking for vintage clothing or antique jewelry or furniture, the dealers are people that really understand, and they're passionate about it. That's why they're doing this. They spend their time searching through estate sales for these gems. So I've learned everything almost that I know, from my grandmother starting out, and then specifically from these dealers at the flea markets. Talk to them, and then ask them if what you're holding is a replica or a fake or a copy or the real thing, because they know, and they'll tell you if you ask them the right questions.
So because you use vintage, how do you like to make it trendy, and do you have any key directional insight on future seasons?
Yeah, that's always a challenge, because for me, I don't want to just take something vintage and put it on someone's shirt as a brooch. There has to be some kind of confluence of other materials or other decades or other inspiration that come together. So the way we work through the vintage is by almost being inspired by different cultures or different decades. Like our current spring-summer season is a mix of Native American vintage styles with classic, European vintage. So it was like my inspiration board had Grace Kelly up on it, and then, Chief Sitting Bull together, and that kind of made for something that felt fresh and a new, trendy take on vintage. We're really excited about fall, winter, and upcoming seasons, as you mentioned. We're doing a little bit more of a 70s vibe, and what's so cool about Lulu Frost is I can draw from many different decades, because the whole thing is the past, being inspired by the past. So our current fall, winter collection, which we just showed, has a lot of snake chain and bright neon pops of color. It's really like fresh and exciting and bright, and longer necklaces are really key trends, and long earrings, so we did a lot of that, and just kind of a little bit more of a 70s kind of sinewy, sleek take on vintage. And then we're also showing this awesome pair of Art Deco dress clip earrings, which have been a big, bestseller for us for a long time.
They're so beautiful.
Thanks. And they're all one of a kind, and that's what's so exciting about them. No two are alike, and they have this great provenance and history to them. So.
Okay, so can you please tell us about Code?
Yeah, so we're really excited about Code, and it goes back to what we were talking about with the numbers. So I've been really lucky to have tapped into that, piece of jewelry that means something to people, this number kind of concept. So Code is our first line of fine jewelry ever, and we named it Code for, obviously the numerical symbolic name. So we're taking the font from the Plaza Hotel and making them into rings, stud earrings, little pendant necklaces, cufflinks for men, and this will be the constant throughout the line. We're always going to have a new collection each season based on Victorian symbolism, but the numbers will be the constants as they've been for me with the Plaza styles.